The Captain's Call radio show on the Eagle 1575. It's 7:07 right now. Your exchange rate for today is about 102 yen, and it's currently about 35 degrees and partly cloudy out in Misawa. Joining me in the studio right now, I have Senior Chief Jay Lighty, and he's going to talk to us all about the upcoming Turkey Fest this month. How's it going, Senior?
It's going good. Good morning. How you doing?
Pretty good.
All right. We have this annual Turkey Fest that we kick off the holiday season with a traditional meal, and it's sponsored by the chiefs and officers, and we invite all Navy Misawa families, civilians, MLCs, and it'll be a great time. Great turkey, great hams, a lot of the fixings and sides, desserts,
Awesome.
all that good stuff.
So this event it's open to everyone?
Well, every person in the Navy, as far as Misawa,
Yeah.
active duty, family, civilians, and MLCs.
Alrighty. And then when is this event, and where's it going to be at?
Well, the event is going to be held on the 22nd of November from 11 to 1300 at Building 926.
Alrighty. Are you going to be there?
Absolutely. I gotta play my part and, serve and contribute.
Alrighty. Were you here last year? Did you guys do it last year?
This is my first year, but it's an annual event, so it did happen last year.
Alrighty. What are you looking forward to the most?
Captain Henry's turkey.
Captain Henry's turkey? Is he known for making a pretty awesome turkey?
I don't know, but I know he's contributing to turkey, so I'll be, wondering how great it's going to taste.
Alrighty, well, I guess we can look forward to that and getting some turkey. I know I personally really enjoy Thanksgiving just because, who doesn't love food?
Absolutely.
And, yeah. Pumpkin pie, probably one of my favorites. I don't like sweet potatoes, though.
Oh, okay. We will have pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie? Awesome.
Yes,
And then you said you guys have ham and turkey, though?
Ham and turkey, yes.
Alrighty, awesome. What's your favorite food? The turkey or?
The turkey.
The turkey.
Yeah, the turkey.
Alrighty, well, I guess we can look forward to that. We're going to take a quick break now, and when we come back, we'll be covering a different party going on later on this month, so keep on listening to the Eagle 1575. We'll do it. That was Chasing Cars from Snow Patrol. You're listening to the Captain's Call radio show on the Eagle 1575. It's just after 7:14 in the morning today. And with me in the studio now, I have Petty Officer McDowell, and he's going to talk to us all about a special Christmas party coming up here pretty soon.
Good morning, Mr. Spurley. Good morning, Navy Misawa. So I'm Petty Officer First Class McDowell. I'm the president of the Naval Air Facility First Class Petty Officer Association. This year we have the great pleasure of heading up the Bikuin Orphanage Christmas party that's been done the past couple years. So what it is, we go out to the orphanage there, we get a list of names of the children, their ages. People volunteer, they buy presents for them, we wrap them, we take food out and just have a good time with them. They get to see Santa and get their gifts given to them by Santa.
Awesome. Cool. Is this something that you guys have done in the past?
It is. So NAF Misawa has been doing this at least for the last 2 years that I know of. Usually there's two events, one at Christmas, one at Easter. But this is the first year that the First Class Petty Officer Association is leading up the charge.
This is your first year getting involved in it?
This is actually my second year getting involved. This is my first year actually leading the event.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So when exactly is this event going on?
So this event will be the 17th of December. We'll all take a bus up to leave on the morning of the 17th, take a bus up to Bikuin, stay for a few hours, then come back.
All right. And so you did it in the past. What was your experience like last time?
My experience last time, it was a really, really beneficial, really humbling experience to interact with this group of about 30 to 40 kids, and to see their happiness and surprise when they saw Santa, and just the gifts that they got, and how they just overall how happy they were and how much fun they had playing games, making crafts with the sailors that went up.
I see what you're saying. So if I wanted to get involved with this, how would I go about doing that?
So to get involved, there is going to be a mass email release to Navy Misawa. with all the information that has the list of names for the kids, their ages, and gender. There's also going to be a list for a potluck, not necessarily a potluck style, but a traditional Christmas style dinner is what we're going for this year, with the turkey, ham, the sides. So there'll be a list coming out of if you want to donate, a certain amount of mashed potatoes or a certain amount of like sweet potatoes, that we're all going to take up there and have a really traditional Christmas with the kids.
Okay, and then you said the list would include
the list will include the names of the children, their ages. They range from very small toddler age to teenagers, and it'll also indicate their gender. So you'll know it'll be this young 14-year-old boy wants X for Christmas.
Okay, so you kind of just like pick. Do you pick, or do you just like...
pick which... you just pick, and you can pick more than one if you'd like. And go from there. And then we're also looking for the people. A sign-up sheet will come out with the personnel to actually go up and interact with the kids. So just because you can't make it that weekend, but you can donate some food or donate a gift. All of it's really appreciated.
Okay. And then you said last year you did. Do you know like maybe what some of the gifts or that you're looking for are? Is there anything in specific, or?
So last year I could say the gifts were, we had one that asked for a bookshelf, a young lady. She asked for a bookshelf. We had backpacks, school type supplies, toys ranging from the like air hog type remote control helicopters to it just kind of spans the gamut. It really doesn't. There's not one set like, oh, we did X number of this particular gift. It kind of all.
Alrighty, so and then when again is that going on? And is there any is there like a deadline to get involved in that, or? So
right now, we're waiting on a couple pieces of information, the final pieces of information.
Okay.
Once that happens, Senior Chief Delcor will be sending out a mass Navy email to all interested with the sign-up sheets for the food to go and for the presents. So that should be coming out here in the next couple days, and it will have a suspense date on when you need to respond by from there.
Okay. So if you guys do want to get involved in something like that, just make sure you guys are looking out for that email that should be coming out here within the next week or so, I guess. And really just, it's a good opportunity to give back to kids and the host nation, because these kids, they probably don't have a lot. So this is a really great opportunity to give back to them and just share some of that Christmas spirit with them. So we're going to take a quick music break, and we'll come back. We're going to be talking about another event that's for the kids. So keep on listening to the Eagle 1575. It's Red Hot Chili Peppers. You're listening to the Eagle 1575. I'm your host, Steven Spurley. Right now, it is just after 7:23 in the morning. Your exchange rate for today is 102 yen to the US dollar, and it's about 35 degrees and partly cloudy out in Misawa. We are doing the Captain's Call Radio Hour now, and joining me in the studio is Petty Officer Harding, and she's going to talk to us all about a great program for kids, United Through Reading. Petty Officer, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. So what exactly is United Through Reading?
United Through Reading is the nation's first nonprofit to promote the read out loud experience, provides a meaningful opportunity for powerful emotional connections that help relieve the stress of separation by having service members read out loud to their children via a DVD.
Okay. And then, in layman's terms, can you repeat that? So basically, you record yourself reading a book to your kid so that when you're not there, the kid can listen to it?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
And it doesn't just have to be your kid. It could be a cousin. It could be your nephew, your niece. It could be somebody that just happens to be in an elderly home and they haven't seen you in a while. It could be for anyone.
Oh, okay. So this is just a way to connect with people you love, I guess.
Yes.
All right. That's great. And then, okay, so how exactly do I get involved in this?
You would go ahead and get in touch with me you can either call me or email me at 226-3369 or raven.harding@fe.navy.mil. And I would go ahead and work around your schedule to get you in. We would go ahead and sit down. It doesn't take very long. I would have everything already set up. Sit down, you pick one of my books, you bring one of the books, read it, and then you're done. We'll go ahead and make the DVD, call you when it's done, and I give you all the shipping supplies.
That's great. Okay, and then so there's no like so you just pretty much schedule anything. There's not like a deadline for it.
No.
Okay, great. So why is it important to do things like this?
Well, there's several reasons, honestly. One of them is that this is while you're on deployment. If you're going to be deployed, if you're going to transfer, you're going to a ship, anything like that, you can go ahead and do this now. That way, when you do leave, your child already has something to remember you by. Whether they're 6 months, whether they're 18, it's still nice to see your family reading to you, trying to reach out to you, trying to give you a personal message. It's something that you can keep for years and years coming down the road.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I haven't been deployed, and I don't really have any children that I would read to, but I got a few brothers and sisters back home that, I don't really get a chance to talk to them a whole lot, but they're usually pretty excited when we do get to talk, so this might be like, maybe I could send it home for like Christmas or something.
See, this would make perfect Christmas presents. You could send it home to your siblings, anybody.
Awesome. And then, so you have all the, how exactly would you go about like getting all this set up, I guess? Like you go in, you record it, and then what happens from there?
Once we go in, we'll sit you down in front of the camera. You're completely alone with just the camera, so there's no pressure. Nobody's watching you. Once you're done, we'll go ahead and edit the video, make sure everything's properly. We'll put it on the DVD for you. You pick it up, and then you can send it off if it's somebody back in the States. You can keep it with you for when you're about to go on deployment. So it's really up to you what happens after that. But if you do want to ship it out, I do have all of the shipping supplies for you.
Okay. So if you guys are interested in doing something like that, it sounds like a really great thing. So you can get in contact with her at, how do we contact you again? 226-3369 or raven.harding@fe.navy.mil. I work in the main Navy building, 980, right across from the post office. Okay. Alrighty. When we come back, we'll be talking all about the Combined Federal Campaign. But before that, thanks for coming in, Petty Officer. Thanks for giving us all the Combined Federal Campaign during this break. And with us to talk about, I have Petty Officer, how do you say it again?
Yukoi.
Petty Officer Yukoi with me in the studio. And so I guess just start off by telling us what exactly is the Combined Federal Campaign?
The Combined Federal Campaign, or CFC, is an event within the federal service that fundraises for charitable organizations in the federal workplace since 1961. It's a great way for our federal employees and service members to give back to their country and community through charitable organizations.
Alrighty, and so what do you guys have like going on, I guess, that...
Well, right now we have unit reps and coordinators at all the different Navy departments, and the Combined Federal Campaign is running through December 2nd. Basically, anyone can donate. Any federal employees, any active duty service members can find those representatives to make any kind of donation to whatever charity they'd like to.
Okay, and so how exactly what do I do to get involved? Do I just find a unit rep, and then do they have like a list of stuff, or do I need to have one in mind when I show up?
Yes, we do. So there are 3 ways to donate. You can donate via a paper pledge card with cash, check, or payroll allotment. You can also donate at www.cfcoverseas.org or mypay.dfas.mil. Through the online donation options, you can make a one-time donation or a monthly reoccurring donation. The online option gives you the ability to search for very specific charities, such as ones in your hometown. We have CFC unit representatives and coordinators for each Navy unit. For NAF Misawa, you have myself, PO2 Roy, PO2 Dew, PO2 Plowden. NMC, we have PO1 Brigman, AIMD, ASD, PO1 Anderson, and PO1 Walcott. NAVCOMDET, we have Seaman Apprentice Hamlos, CTF 72, PO1 Moncrief, FLC, PO2 De Carvala Puerta, and PWD, we have PO1 Thornton. And also remember, if you donate $150 or more, either one time or collectively through an allotment, you can receive a CFC coin as a thank you gift.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool. And then, so what were the dates for this again?
So it started in October, and it ends December 2nd.
December 2nd, alrighty. So we're getting kind of close to the end, but if you guys wanted to get involved, you still do have time to do that. Just find your unit's CFC rep in that big list that we just rattled off for you. Thanks for coming in, though, Petty Officer. Thanks for sharing this great opportunity to, I guess, just give back with us. When we come back, we're going to take a quick music break. We'll have the CMC of NAF with us, though, and he's going to cover a lot of different topics from flu shots to winter safety and everything in between. So keep on listening to the Eagle 1575, where we're serving America's best. That was Pearl Jam, and you're listening to the Captain's Call radio show, actually, on the Eagle 1575, which just about 7:40 in the morning right now. Your exchange rate for today is 102 yen to the US dollar, and it's still about 35 degrees and partly cloudy out. Joining me in the studio, I have the Command Master Chief Snyder, and we got quite a few things we're going to cover, so we'll just get right into it with some winter safety and the winter safety stuff. How you doing?
I'm well. Good morning. And just for those of you who may not have noticed the weather yesterday and the fact that we got quite a bit of snow, when I was putting the script together for the show, I was like, well, there's snow coming, and I'll remind folks that they have until next Tuesday to get their winter tires put on their car. And then yesterday it all came down, and if you didn't already have your winter tires on your car, you were probably walking, or you probably should have been walking.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is the last weekend if you haven't gotten your snow tires on there. And also, for those of you who may be new, or those of you who have been around for a while and maybe have gotten overconfident, I would caution everybody to just drive slowly, right? There's no substitute for driving slowly. Doesn't matter if you have the best car in the world, all-wheel drive, best tires that you can possibly buy. If you hit a slick patch of ice, it doesn't matter. Just don't drive any faster on the road than you're comfortable driving into a wall, and you'll be all right. So,
I got here this morning about as fast as I would walking, because I'm not used to driving in the snow. I was taking it slow.
The life you save might be your own.
Yeah.
So, moving on, last Friday, Thursday and Friday, the med group did a fantastic job over there in the gym doing that flu pod that they did. We got most of our folks through, but towards the end, there was some... I guess they ran out for a couple of people at the end, but then there were some of our sailors that just for some reason didn't show up over there. So this is just my formal reminder to you that flu shots are absolutely required for active duty Navy personnel. If you did not get over there last week, you can still go over. They have the vaccine in the hospital, and you can just walk in and get it. You don't need an appointment, right? But please get over there and get those flu shots.
Yeah, I think for that you have to go to the immunizations desk.
Yes, that's downstairs.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So,
yeah.
It's pretty easy. It's a pretty easy process, right? You just walk in, tell them you need a flu shot. They'll give you the flu shot, and make a check mark in your medical record, and you're good to go.
You're good to go for another year.
Yep. Coming up to the holidays, a few things I want to talk about, right? Primarily budgeting, right? We tend to have a lot of sailors that get in trouble over the holidays because everybody wants to, give their kids and their family members the best Christmas possible, and they want to buy all these things, and the market, the stores are masters of marketing, and they have you convinced that paying $5,000 instead of $10,000 on Black Friday for an 85-inch TV that does everything except for make toast, is the one thing that is going to make your life complete. And so we end up with a lot of sailors in January when they get their credit card bills from over the holidays that are pretty much devastated. So November is the time to start thinking about budgeting for the holidays. I mean, before you start making purchases for the holidays, and it's probably already on, right? Because people have already started buying excess quantities of food for the Thanksgiving holidays. I mean, it's just nonstop between now and mid-January. It seems like, unless you're careful, you're just going to be hemorrhaging money, right? Because every time you turn around, there's something else that you're having to drop money into, and a lot of them are good causes. A couple of our sailors that came on this morning talking about making donations of toys to one group or another, or cooking food for some people, and everybody wants to be philanthropic, but
not everyone
just
is able, exactly.
don't be philanthropic, or don't spend money that you don't have, because eventually it's going to catch up with you. You have to eventually pay those credit card bills, and if you don't, it could impact your career by impacting your security clearance and a lot of different things. So please be thoughtful and budget for the holidays. Another thing is that, on the Navy side anyways, I don't know about the rest of the folks on the base, but on the Navy side, we've been doing pretty well for the past couple of months in terms of off-duty liberty performance, responsible consumption of alcohol. But as we come into the holiday season, there tends to be more irresponsible consumption of alcohol across the board by all personnel, right? I mean, if you look back statistically, the time of year where more people tend to consume more alcohol is around the holidays, right? So I would just admonish people to please be responsible, have a plan, do not consume alcohol excessively, and intervene in situations where they see other people starting down that path, right? Because it's just too important, especially out here. I mean, it's always important, even back in the States, but it's even more important out here. So, then the last thing I'll say about the holiday season is just that January is coming up quick, and for all the first-class petty officers out there that will be taking the Chief's exam in January, please find time in your time, or plan in your time budgets for the holidays, a couple of hours a week to study for that Chief's exam. Otherwise, January is going to roll up and you're going to not do well on the test and not make board. And enough said on that. All right. Moving on. Compass went down. I think we advertised the last time I was on the radio last month. We talked about the upcoming Compass class. Now that class is behind us. I think it went exceptionally well. We had 13 students, dependents in the class that went through, and after 3 days came out a lot wiser about Navy programs and policies and everything. So thank you very, very much to the Compass mentors. But I wanted to just put in a plug for the fact that we have another one coming up in the spring. I don't have the dates written down right now, but if you are a Navy dependent and you have not yet attended Compass and you want to attend Compass, if you go to www.gocompass.org, it has all the information on there for the upcoming class, and there's an area on there for you to sign up for the spring class. I cannot say enough good things about that class and the benefits, and if you haven't gone, please consider signing up and going. And really, that's about it for me.
All right. Thanks for taking some time out of your day. I know you and Captain Henry are pretty busy keeping NAF running over there smoothly, but just coming in to talk to us about staying safe, making sure you're budgeting both your money and your time if you're getting ready for advancement exams. So thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time.
Yeah, and consume alcohol responsibly over the holidays.
Yes. That's probably just part of winter safety too, because or just safety for the whole year. But when we come back, we will have the NAF commander, Captain Keith Henry, with us, and he will be talking about a big list of stuff. So just stay tuned. Keep on listening to the Eagle 1575. Show on the Eagle 1575. It's just after 7:52 in the morning right now. Your exchange rate for the day is 102 yen to the US dollar, and it's still 35 degrees and partly cloudy out. We're coming up on the end of the show, and joining us for our last break, we have the NAF Commanding Officer, Captain Henry, with us. Sir, thanks for coming in. So what have you got for us today?
All right. Well, thanks for having me. I'd like to start off by thanking all our veterans out there. So tomorrow is Veterans Day. We got a number here on base. Just talked to pretty much any U.S. civilian we have employed here, and they probably did some time in the military. So a good opportunity to thank them for their service, and someday the rest of us will be in that category. So please take the time to thank them. There's a special group of veterans I want to talk to today. So last month I thought it was pretty unique that our Thursday radio show fell exactly on the Navy's birthday of October 13th. And then this month I realized that our Thursday radio show fell exactly on November 10th, which is the birthday of the U.S. Marine Corps. So, but why am I going to talk about the Marine Corps on the Navy Hour, I guess is the question. So I'm sure there are many people out there asking themselves that. And the answer to that is that both the Navy and the Marine Corps are part of the Department of the Navy. So Navy Secretary Ron Mavis presides over both the Marine Corps and the Navy. So we have Navy corpsmen embedded with the Marines, so the Marines do not have corpsmen. So same thing with our docs. The Navy doctors are the ones that service the U.S. Marine Corps. Our Navy chaplains serve alongside the Marines, so they do not have a chaplain corps in the Marines. They rely upon the Navy chaplain corps. Naval Academy, so all the commissioned out of the Naval Academy are either the Navy or the Marine Corps. So I have a number of friends from the Naval Academy who are colonels in the Marine Corps right now. So I go on and on about how we work side by side, and that's been going on for 241 years. So, the mission of the Marine Corps is power projection from the sea, utilizing the mobility of the Navy to rapidly deliver combined arms task forces to global crises. So they're using the Navy to get them there, and they're kicking in the door and getting ashore and opening up the fight where necessary. They get a very small end strength. So right now their end strength is 202,000 active duty and about 39,000 in reserve. In most cases that Navy Marine Corps team's not going to win the battle for us, so we're just holding the beachhead until we can get the Army in there and let them bring their tremendous preponderance of forces in. So that's kind of the Navy Marine Corps mission and what we're trying to accomplish. So another aspect of that is a lot of what we do these days is about joint warfare. But Joint Pub 1, basically the Bible of joint warfare in the very opening pages says that a operation between the Navy and Marine Corps is by definition not a joint operation because we're both Department of the Navy and we've been doing it for 241 years, so well before Goldwater Nichols. So as I mentioned, November 10th is the Marine Corps birthday. 1775. Also, similar to the Navy, the Continental Congress authorized the establishment of the Marine Corps by authorizing 2 battalions to be stood up, and that the start of the Continental Marines was viewed as the start of the U.S. Marine Corps, and obviously the intent was to put them on Navy ships, which happened very early on. They set their amphibious legacy during the Revolutionary War, and in the Bahamas very early on, when the Navy landed 234 Marines to capture a large cache of British supplies during the early part of the Revolutionary War. So started early on. There's a number of nicknames that people have for the Marines. The only 2 I'm willing to talk about on the radio would be one would be Leathernecks, and that just goes back to their early uniform. Naval warfare back in those days, we think about the big cannons going broadside, but at some point, that battle typically would drift closer and closer, and then you would do what's called lashing up your ships. So you would tie them together physically, and then people would start jumping from ship to ship and hand-to-hand fighting. So it's pretty brutal, and that's what the Marines excelled at. Early with sword fighting included, so their early uniforms included a protective collar of leather around the neck to help with that protection, and in a different fashion, that not leather to these days, but that is kind of carried on in their uniforms. That's where they originally got the name Leathernecks. Another name that they came up with or was bestowed on them, I suppose you could say, is Devil Dogs, and that was from World War One. World War One was a fairly long operation, but towards the end, the Russians had signed a peace treaty with the Germans, so the Germans were able to move a large number of divisions to the Western Front and started an offensive. And one of those areas was Belleau Woods, and the Marines dug in, and even though a lot of other coalition forces at that point had pulled back and fought a fierce campaign and held Belleau Wood, and the nickname they got from that by the Germans was Devil Dogs. So just because they fought like dogs from hell. So it was a good indicator of kind of the fighting tradition that the Marines carry with them. So another thing I wanted to address was that they got two individuals who have both won 2 Medals of Honor. So very highly decorated force for as small they are. Major General Smedley Butler, in the early 1900s, was decorated twice with the Medal of Honor. Camp Butler down in Okinawa is named in his honor. And Sergeant Major Dan Daly, also in the early 1900s, was decorated with 2 Medals of Honor. So very very highly decorated fighting force. The other history things I want to talk about, the opening phrase, I think most people would recognize the Marine Corps hymn, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Montezuma itself goes back to 1805, or sorry, not 1805. That was during the Mexican-American War in the mid-1800s when they went down and successfully captured the fortress at Chapultepec, and very bloody battle. At that time it was the most decorated battle for the Marine Corps in terms of how many Marines were decorated versus how many participated. So very important in their history. It's also indicative of the red stripe on their trousers. But halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. So 1805, First Barbary War. President Johnson sent the Navy in. We're starting to grow back up and kind of flex our muscles globally, and we were a lot of American commerce was being raided by pirates in the Mediterranean. So President Johnson sent in the Navy to try and fight the Barbary pirates who were operating out of Tripoli. But like a lot of other wars, you can only fight so many battles on sea. Sometimes you have to go ashore to actually win them, and that's what the Marines did. They were able to force march across North Africa and capture the forces, or defeat the forces at Tripoli. Also significant because it was essentially the first time America raised its flag on foreign soil. So, the other significant history item from that is, as part of the surrender, the head of the insurrection handed his sword to the Marines, and it's called a Marmaluke, which to this day that's when the Marines started carrying a different sword than Navy officers, and to this day the Marines carry that a replica of the Mameluke as their sword. So halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. So history's been going on for quite some time. Very proud, small but proud service, and I just want to take some time to talk about the Marine Corps and what they've done, particularly because, as I said, they're part of the Navy. So part of what we do, a significant portion of our fighting force is dedicated to lifting and moving the Marines. The Amphib Navy, Gator Navy, we got a number of different names for it, but we spend a lot of time and resources in the Navy to making sure that we can actually move them around in rapid action so that they can attack from the sea and establish that beachhead, which is their primary reason for existence. So I'm told, obviously I haven't served in the Marine Corps, but I'm told by Marines that it is a tradition in the Marine Corps to form up all the Marines on the birthday and read the message from the Commandant. So I will wrap it up by doing so. So 10 November 2016, a message from the Commandant of the Marine Corps. Each year on around 10 November, Marines gather in groups large and small to celebrate our history, honor the memory of those who have gone before us, and rekindle the bond that unites all generations of Marines. This year we mark the 241st anniversary of our Corps, 241 years of uncommon valor, innovation, and combat excellence. Marines, we are part of something bigger than any of us could imagine. Whether you fought in the battles of World War I, in the Pacific during World War II, in Korea or Vietnam, in Desert Shield or Desert Storm, or in the streets of Iraq and Afghanistan, you are just starting out on your Marine Corps journey, and we're all part of an elite family of warriors. For the rest of your life, the first term people you use to describe you will be Marine. When the Continental Congress stood up 2 battalions of Marines in 1775, a culture of discipline, vigilance, professionalism, and military excellence was born that has characterized our Corps for nearly 2.5 centuries. As Marines, we have a profound respect for our traditions and heritage and for taking care of each other. We know we're strongest when we're together as a team. Whenever you're celebrating our Corps birthday this year, look around at the Marines beside you and remember the bonds forged in training, in garrison, and in combat. Take this time to reconnect. We're Marines for life. It's our responsibility, our duty, to maintain and build upon the legacy that has gone before us. What we do today, guided by what we've learned from past generations, will determine the future of our Corps. So we celebrate this 241st anniversary of our Corps. We look ahead and prepare for our next success. Take pride in carrying our legacy forward. Happy birthday, Marines. Signed, Semper Fidelis, Robert Neller, General, U.S. Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps.
Alrighty. Is that all you had for us today?
It is. Once again, thank any veterans you run into out there. And I know the fighter wings shift in their holiday next weekend, but for the Navy out there, as Master Chief said, take this 3-day weekend to celebrate responsibly. So good, safe Liberty options in response to use of alcohol.
Alrighty. Thanks for giving us some of your time. I know both you and the Master Chief are very busy over there at NAF, and thanks for just telling us more about the Marine. I'd heard both those names before, but I never really knew where they came from, and that's actually really cool to know.
Yeah, now you know. So Navy Marines fighting alongside each other for 241 years.
Alrighty, thanks for coming in.
All
We're
right.
going to get back to the music now, and then we'll resume our regular morning breakdown schedule on the Eagle 1575, where we're serving America's best.